Welcome to Conversations. I'm Nicola. I'm here at the residence of Glenette Francis. We're going to be sitting with Glenette. She's going to be telling us all about her highs and lows, and I'm pretty sure there are going to be so many more highs than there are lows. So stay with us for the next 30 minutes right here on Conversations with Nicola. Glenette Francis, the icon, the Antiguan woman, the strong Antiguan woman, the woman who is known for cosmetology, the term that we use now in the 21st century. That woman who just epitomizes beauty and art and all of the above. How are you? Thank you for joining us on Conversations.
I am very well, thank you. And I'm happy to be here.
Glenette, growing up as a 14 or 15-year-old, when did you realize and recognize that you wanted to get involved in the art of hairdressing and makeup and all that good stuff?
Just about 15. My hair was always very coarse. You could not afford to have it done by a hairdresser. I couldn't afford to buy an iron comb. I took a fork and I put it in the fire and was pressing my hair. Well, my bang, for instance, because bangs were in thing, and that would make it look as though I had good hair, as we would say, because it was, you had nice hair or your hair was very coarse. And I put that fork into the fire and was straightening it out. My father came in and he saw me. And I saw the look on his face. He didn't say anything, but you know, those days you get blows for everything. He did not say anything. But it was just about Christmas. And when Christmas came, he's not a person to give us gifts either. He would give us some money. But this Glenette got this big gift. And I'm saying, what did I do to deserve that? And then when I opened it, there was an iron comb in it. I took that iron comb and all the neighborhood children got their hair burnt off because I was trying to make, and everybody wanted their hair straightened. So that was my beginning.
That was the aha moment.
Yes, it
moving
was.
forward. Mm-hmm. Wow. And you must have been really joyful because your father did not say anything to you when he saw you using the fork.
That's right.
But there you are, Christmas, and you got a hot comb, as they call it back then. Mm-hmm. Let's fast forward to Glenette in her 20s when Glenette decides, listen, I want to make a business out of this. I'm doing the neighborhood kids. I'm doing friends. You know, you realize now that this could be a money-making venture, and this is what I like.
Mm-hmm. Again, too, I believed in making everything beautiful. Home decorating was on my list too. But then I thought, how am I going to earn a living from that? Because at that time, Antigua, you couldn't afford to hire somebody to come and decorate your home or your store or whatever. And then I decided, well, I might have to shelve that, you know. And then I said, well, let me concentrate on hairdressing and shelve that. But I still have a love for that.
Now, women, we're talking about, you know, I guess the 1960s here, the early 70s as well. Women are taking care of themselves. They want to look good. Mm-hmm. You want to step out. And you were literally the go-to person at that point in time.
Yes.
When you started your business, was there any competition? Was there anyone else?
Yeah, there were 2 persons. Yeah, it was Gloria and Bernadette.
Wow. And they're still around as well today?
Yes.
To a
No,
certain
Bernadette
extent.
is not.
Yes.
Bernadette is not.
But Gloria's is?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the competition was pretty fierce.
Yes, yes.
But how did you stand out? How did you rise above the rest, Glenna?
I thought that we needed just not doing hair. I thought we needed more than just doing the hair. And because I was in Canada, I looked around and I saw what would I add to it. And then I knew well that you had to add nails, you had to add everything else, waxing and everything else.
So you had literally the go-to shop. If you want to get your hair done, go to Glennett's.
Yes, yes.
Anything
yes.
you want, go to. Why don't you go to Glennett's? Glennett's is right there. So you start the business, you're thriving, you're hiring persons. Did you look for a particular caliber of hairdresser, as we would have called them back then, or a particular person to work in your establishment?
We had to do the training ourselves because people could not afford to go overseas. Fortunate, I was able to go.
And you did this in Canada?
Yeah, I did it in
Yes.
Toronto, yeah. And, but it was very difficult for anybody else to be able, or very few people would be able to go that route. And we had to train the people. And we started, other beauty salons opened after the years. I started in 1970, yes. And it was difficult. I can remember I had my rent to pay and I lost the money. And I'm saying, where am I going to get that money
gracious.
from to pay this first rent? Eventually, Good Samaritan said, here is it. And that was my beginning. I spent 1 year in Church Street, and then I decided I wanted to go further, and the place was not big enough. So I went up to Newgate Street, and I have been there since. And we added accordingly to everything. Every step, we made progress with every step. Yeah.
So you just added on and excelled as the years went by.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find it difficult? I mean, again, we mentioned that women were taking, and we still take care of ourselves. But what was business like back then? Okay, so you had 2 other individuals or beauty salons in Antigua, major beauty salons. But how, the economy, what was it like back then? Did you find a surplus of women on a Saturday, or, you know, is it like what it is today when right throughout the week?
Yes, it started, and it became bigger. And then there was once when hair pieces were the in thing, and everybody wanted more hair.
They still do now.
Yes,
They still do.
But it did slacken off a bit.
Right.
So our in thing, weddings, all day working, because everybody wanted a piece on to their hair. Everybody wanted petals. Everybody wanted an updo.
Yeah.
But as time goes, everything changes, goes around, I should say, in circles.
Yeah, it's one
you
big
know?
circle. Let's talk about the beauty pageants and you being a part of somewhat that structure in terms of your support and to a certain extent sponsorship. And then of course you would have, you know, a lot of the pageant ladies coming in saying, well, Glenette, how can you assist? Or we have someone going in for teenage pageant or Miss Antigua Barbuda. Can you do her hair or hair, makeup, etc.? What part or role did you play in that era?
Well, I assisted in everything. The makeup, their hair, and how they should carry themselves. And I must say, Mrs. Hurst, Lord, I forgot her new name now.
That's okay.
Well, Erna May, okay,
Mrs.
Erna May. Erna May was very good too. And wherever she fell off, I tried to fit in. Because some of the girls really needed a lot of help. Not just in their appearance, you know, but everything else.
So
And we did.
mannerism, and
Yes.
elegance, and a somewhat of a transformation.
Yes.
So you played a major role in that in terms of how to walk,
Yes.
how to sit, how to speak, how to talk, how to carry yourself about in public. And all of this you would have, you know, acquired additional knowledge in Toronto.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes, yes.
Wow. So it's you've been there.
Yes, yes, yes. I have been there. But I really enjoy doing it. Really enjoy doing it. Because I think a woman should really put a little more into herself.
Self. Glenette, let's talk about, you know, where it's 2017 and we're looking at the feminists, we're looking at the role of the woman, we're looking at some of the hardships endured by women. Gone are the days when women are seen as cook, clean, wash, and look after your husband. Well, you were never like that. I mean, in the sense that you were always independent and always that businesswoman striving for better. But what do you think we need to do to sort of cement ourselves? Because there's still those who think that we need to be in the home and be seen and not heard. Given your stewardship as an entrepreneur and as a businesswoman, what do you think we need to do? What do young women need to strive for?
To be independent and stop thinking that I am going to find a rich man to support me.
Glenette, thank you for that.
And there's nothing like spending your own money. If, for instance, you want that dress, or you feel like buying 6 dresses, you can buy 6 dresses, your money. If a man is there, he's going to say, didn't you get one last week? You know? Wherein if you say 6 dresses that I like, I'm going to buy them. You have the money, I'm going to buy them. Nobody can tell you what to do. So that is one way that I try to tell some of the girls too. Nothing like just saying, I love that watch. I love whatever it is, and you purchase. You don't have to wait on anybody to say,
Here. Oh, you see that watch you were looking at? Maybe next month I'll get it for you.
yeah.
Yeah. What are your time growing your business and dealing with men? You know, let's just be brutally honest. Did you have any difficulty during your business where, you know, you had to work harder and harder and harder to let your voice be heard? Because there may have been times when maybe in a supply situation or maybe in, you know, just basically just stamping your feet and making sure that no one rolls over you, the male body. Have you had instances like that? You don't need to specify, but what did you do when you actually found yourself in situations like that?
I have had, well, I should say one, and I would hear people would not, she's a fine girl, but she's too strong for me. You know? She has to learn to keep quiet, you know? And
so you did get that?
Yeah, I did.
And when you heard those things, or it was said behind your back, but you could hear it,
yes.
What did you do? Were you louder?
No, I didn't really, but you know, I still, in a way, kind of a toned down, you know, but I said, I didn't think that way, you know, and then you try to be a woman, you want to move on, but yet you want to be a woman, you know, and said, okay, maybe I should tone down a bit, or a man would come. I remember a friend of mine said to me, your relationship is going a little because you're too strong. He says, whenever he says no, you will say yes, you know? And then.
But you didn't change. Though.
No, it didn't change me, no,
good.
But.
Very good. Let's talk a little bit about your parents, because we haven't touched on your parents. I want to assume that you had strong parents.
Very.
Your father.
In particular.
Just going back to that story, he would have observed, saw you doing what you were doing, probably would have had a sixth sense and said, okay, you know what, let me clear or pave the path for my daughter. What was your relationship like with your father and your mother?
My father, I should say, very strong. And when he said, oh, we couldn't stay in bed late, up to now, I cannot stay in bed late.
And what's late?
And when I say, hey, I get up at 3 o'clock and 4
Oh
o'clock.
my gosh.
I go to the gym and then come back home and start my routine.
That's good. That's good.
But even my brothers, their wives would say, I don't know what's wrong with your brother, but he will not sleep in the mornings. But we had to get up and do our chores before we went to school. And we just cannot stay in bed.
And obviously it set a good precedence,
Yes.
because look at you now.
You got to get up.
Look at you now. You got up and you got the early bird catches all the worms.
The other thing my father did was he gave us every week he would give us an allowance, right?
Do you remember how much it was?
$1,
Wow.
50 cents, depending
Wow.
on your age.
Yeah.
And one day I said to him, Daddy, no, I said, can we go to so-and-so? He said, yes. I said, well, Dad, we're going to need some money. He says, no. I said, Dad, where would you expect us to get money from if... He said, didn't I give you $1? I gave your mother this. I gave your sister, brother, whatever. And he said, come here. I said, would you like me to go and ask a man for it?
Oh my gosh.
I was trying to be bold, you know. And he said, sit here. No, I wouldn't want you to do that. Would you like me to go into my boss's place and take out his money to give you? Would you like to see your father in jail? And that came home to me.
That was an eye-opener.
Yes. Where is he to get it from? He says, I keep this in my pocket to buy my cigarettes and whatever else. I don't have it. And then it came home to me that we have to start looking for ourselves. He said, if you get $1, you must put aside some that if you want to go anywhere, you have that to do. And I said, I can't live on $1. And I started making little cakes and selling to all the neighborhood children.
So you were doing the hair, you were selling the cakes. So you were the overall entrepreneur.
Yes. After I got $24, I bought an ice cream freezer. And every Saturday night, the neighborhood children would tell you in Ovals, they came with all their little allowance to Glenette to buy her ice cream.
Wow.
And that was where I realized that, I just couldn't live on that allowance.
So you were willing to work hard
yes, for whatever you wanted.
Ever since. To ensure that if you want this, you will work hard, an honest dollar to get it.
And even to the point where I bought my bed, because my sister and I slept in one bed, and I said, I want my own bed. Yes, you couldn't afford a room, but I went and I bought a bed. Then, of course, the 2 beds could not hold in a room. So my father had to buy a small one now for the sister.
Wow.
You understand? So we had 2 single beds. At least we were a little independent.
How many siblings?
Well, I grew up with 1, but I had 2 others because those were my father's 2 children before marriage.
Yeah. So a nice rounded family.
Yes, yes.
And you guys got along well.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And let's talk about the matriarch, your mother. How did she fit into all of this? Because your father sounds like a powerhouse. But I'm sure your mother was a powerhouse as well.
Yes. Well, she, in a way, she was more, you cannot speak like that. You cannot sing at the table. She wanted you to be a fine lady, that sort of thing.
So you got the best of both.
Yes, I think I did.
From your mom.
Yes,
and from your dad.
Yes.
A nice balance.
And you had to be so and so. She wanted you to be this. She wanted you to be that. She wanted everything. But, you had to choose for yourself what you wanted. And then she said, everybody goes away to Canada. It's the only thing I didn't agree with her. Why are you coming back? You can do better there. But I said, no, I am coming back
to be
home.
here.
Yes.
You wanted to give back. You wanted to be a part of Antigua Barbuda moving into the 21st century.
That's correct.
Your best memory, I mean, I know all memories are good, but as a young girl growing up in Antigua, your fondest memory? or at least one of them?
I'm trying to think. I know when we were very small, my mother actually came from Montserrat. My father was a soldier, so he found my mother in Montserrat and brought her to Antigua. But he was still in the army, so he left her, well then, I think I was born, yes, left us with his brother, which was Eustace Francis's father, Fernley Francis. He was a manager on the estate. So we lived a life on the estate with that family, and I enjoyed it. At Fitch's Creek, I can remember in particular, it was really a joy living a country life. And then now, when we decided to move into our own, we came to town. And it was another exciting period. You're in town.
This is at Oval's.
Yes, at Oval's, you know. So but I still can remember everything that would happen there, even in the 52 hurricane that met us there. And I can recall people coming to the house, their house blew down, and we had to let them into the estate house. And I can recall relief coming, and the sugar and the biscuits, and we would go in and steal the biscuits.
I've heard those stories.
Yes, but that was fun to me. And you were free in the country. You were able to move around, look for grapes, and I'm amazed at children not looking at the sea. I have seaside grapes here, and nobody would even come for them. Yeah. It's only the older folks would say, Glenette, I'm coming to get some grapes.
I have had the opportunity as well to sample some seaside grapes right here in Antigua Barbuda on vacation. Glenette, if I can ask, your lowest period, your lowest moment that you were able to just rise above it. Because we have highs and lows.
I'm thinking, I really haven't had anything really that, because you do meet obstacles wherever, whenever, but I really can't think of because I remember my mother saying to me, you are so fortunate. You really don't know what hard time is. I remember her saying that to me. And thinking back now, you have said it, I'm trying to think. Of course, you have your ups and downs, but I just can't really think of a period that really, once or twice in business, I can recall that things went rough. You made a wrong decision and funds became very tight. But of course, you just have to learn to roll, say, okay, I made a mistake. I have to do something else to bring that back. But I have had one or two points with that, but that is about all.
Would you consider yourself an emotional person? Do you wear your emotions on your sleeve?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting, because from where I sit, I used to come to your salon. My mom would bring me to your salon, I think from about 11, and I would have my hair washed. I think, I'm trying to remember if you would have done it a couple of times, but I remember coming to Glenette's on Newgate Street, and it was the place to go. Even at 11-year-olds, just looking at, the young women that you would have had working, you behind the counter, a very upright, very, you didn't appear stern, but a no-nonsense woman.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I never got the impression that you were someone that you could come and say, kiki.
Yeah, that is true too, but
But a shrewd, just businesswoman who knows what she's about. That was my first impression of you at 11 years old. And it's good that I'm able to sit here and talk with you, because I just have to say congratulations on all your achievements. Because you've managed to just move forward, and stick to the plan, basically.
Right. Well, I must mention that we had a little grocery shop. And that too made me understand there must be a profit. You can't just sell something for the same price that you bought it, because they're expenses. And that too gave me a background that I would understand business, what business was all about. And yet you're not in business for fun. You have to make money out of whatever, because you're investing your money and you must come out with some little thing.
Glenette, what about your family life at this point in time? The grandchildren, the children, the extended family, the siblings. You are here in a wonderful place. I mean, I see pictures of practically everyone, and you know, just a timeline of your accomplishments. But Glenette, in 2017, the accomplished person, the settled person, just give me a little sneak peek into that.
My brothers, they're all around. If I call, I'll tell you, one comes here almost every morning to help me to look about the dogs.
Yeah.
You understand? So to tell, if I call on Lennox, my brother, he is here. Once somebody took my friend's bag from there, and I called my brother. He reached before the police.
Wow. Wow.
They are very close with me.
Tight-knit.
They come in almost every Sunday. They're here, or we say, let's go somewhere, or they invite you over, whatever it is. And I'm free to go at their house anytime, anything to eat, and so they are free to come here too.
So you're comfortable.
Yes, I am.
Peace
I
with
am.
yourself. And
yes.
When you look back on, you know, making the ice cream and doing the neighbors, I guess, the braids and hair and the hot irons, and looking at your first salon, and you know, everything that you've achieved for the last 30 years or so, how do you feel? What do you say to
40
yourself?
years.
40.
46 years.
46 years.
Yeah,
Glenette.
46 years.
Wow, almost as old as me.
Yes, 46 years.
Yeah, and you feel good, isn't it?
Yeah, I do feel good. I do feel good. At one point, I thought when I was at 50, when I went to Canada, it was 25, and I said, by the time I'm 50, I would retire. And then you realize,
no,
that wasn't,
you're gonna have
that
to
cannot be.
So where do we go from here?
Ready to retire. I'm trying to retire.
Oh, you said that when you were 50, so that's not gonna happen.
No, man. You know, you have to give the younger ones a chance, you know. And I'm just backing out slowly.
Yeah, but Glenette, you look great.
Thank you.
You look fantastic. You look as though you have another 50 years to give. Business is still thriving. My mother still comes to the salon.
Antigua, yes, whenever she's here, yeah.
And, you know, in the 21st century, I'm sure you have a lot more to add and a lot more to give. What would you say to the young women looking on at this point in time who want to be just like you? I want to be like Glenette.
Tell him. It is a lot of hard work, and you have to make up your mind. Think of what you really want and how far you want to go. It's no use going halfway. And even when I interview anybody, I said, come in for a trial, see what it's all about, because you're looking at it and you're looking at it as making somebody a fancy hairstyle, but that's not all. You have to clean up after them, the dirty part of it. I show them, you know, if this is what you really want. And when you come in and you actually do it, then I will know whether you really want to do it. If you tell me, yes, I like it, then you can join us.
Do you also tell them that you don't have to wait for a man to...
Yes, yes. All the girls, I try to them, because you can see little things, they're coming out and they will say, you're going to have to buy me lunch today, you know?
So you
that
promote
kind of thing.
independence.
Yes.
Glenette, in 2011, you received a national award. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was really a surprise. I was overseas and this letter came, and then I was told. I said, well, open it. And then I said, for me? But it was really, I was really happy about it. Really, really happy.
And I think it just says to you, for all your hard work and, you know, the time here that you've spent on this earth, it says Antigua and Barbuda appreciates you, your hard work, your efforts, and your achievements. And that must make a positive, resounding noise in your head.
It did.
Well, I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope you receive another award.
Thank you.
Sometime soon.
Thank you.